I am very excited to jump into the first part of this intense series that I have been building out. I want to be clear, this is not just some random sales training. I want this to be the series that is literally going to shake the entire high-ticket sales industry to its core. Right? By the time we are done with this, you won't just be better at sales, you will be outright dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna give you the exact processes, the exact mindset, the execution, the methodology to walk into any sales call and dominate it from start to finish, right? I wanna turn you into a world-class closer. Okay, so if you're using some kind of weak script that the offer just provided you, or you're using weak ass rebuttals that don't actually work when shit gets real, I want to destroy all of that and burn it to the ground. Okay, I'm going to give you every single thing you actually need for free. Right? This series, the goal here is to change everything. I want to take over the sales space, okay? I'm also, on top of this, going to give you tools and documents and resources and things like that to just take this even more to the next level, okay? Now, very quickly, just to hammer my credentials super quick so that you know, I guess I'm in the position to even give this advice. I was Iman Gadzhi's sales manager. I worked with him for around 2 years. I also launched his $18,000 product, okay, and sold for that. I've coached, honestly, thousands of students across the various communities at this point. I have built and scaled sales teams, including, as of recently, a marketing agency where I brought their monthly revenue from $30K per month to $121K in just over 2 months. I've closed singular deals of up to $104K in the past. The list goes on, and not to throw any shade, but unlike a lot of other people, if ever needed, I can prove every single one of those claims. Now, that's probably a topic for a different video, but very quickly, you may ask, why am I even doing this? What do I gain from this? Selfishly, like I said, I want to provide so much value up front for sales reps that I just take over the sales space, but also I want to attract business owners so that I can continue to scale up more teams because, and this is just what I get told, most sales managers are kind of clueless, right? So if you are a business owner and you want me to turn your team into absolute weapons and scale your high ticket offer, hit me up, let's chat. But in regards to here, right now, let's dive into the first part of this series. We're going to be going through trainings that I have never done in the past. You are going to get everything that I have ever learned condensed into a free YouTube series. This shit will change everything. Welcome to the setup. Now, this first part is going to be about winning before you even take the call, all right? You have to understand that the actual closing journey, it starts way before the call even begins. And hopefully you're already aware of that. If not, you've been seriously missing out. If you're not prepping like a machine, if you're not showing up as a professional, if you're not in the right mentality, you've already fucked yourself. So the very first stage of this, we're going to talk about the elite sales setup, right? Your camera, your lighting, your environment. Perception is going to equal authority, and we need to ensure that we have authority from the very second we open up that call. So the amount of calls that I review for people, right, I've done probably thousands, and they are already fucked before they even open their mouth. And then, sadly, a lot of the time, on top of that, they will say something stupid and just completely dig their own grave. Take some pride, okay? People buy from those that they actually respect and trust. And one thing that I always say when I'm coaching people is if someone truly trusts you enough at the end of a sales call, whatever you say at the end of that call, they will follow blindly. All right, let's say you were selling on an e-com offer and then they were like, you got to the end of the call, you had a no bullshit conversation and you said, hey, John, honestly, based on everything that we've discussed, I genuinely think that you'd actually be better suited for running a marketing agency. If they trusted you, they will literally come off of that call and they will start violently researching agencies. So I want to be clear. It is not your product or your service. It is literally you. Okay. And I'm telling you, within the first 2 minutes, I can feel if a call will close or not. Now, we're going to go into a few different parts of this, but the first small and essential part of that is your setup. Right? I'm referring to the camera, the lighting, your background. Are you showing up as an actual professional? Okay, you need the perceived expertise from the very, very beginning, right? If you are selling to like a typically younger audience and it's likely, their first time investing or at least investing into something bigger, They want to see you as someone that is further ahead in life, like a mentor, all right? And it's key that you show up in that way. If you're selling to more of a B2B type offer and it's established business owners, they need to see that you're a professional, you know what the fuck you're talking about, and that you're not some young kid that's got the perception of like that you've borrowed your mum's laptop to take the call, right? The first impression that they get of you, that's going to become the sticking reference point, okay? Now, I want to just preface here that if you've been a closer for even a little bit and you're kind of thinking, oh, you know, whatever, my setup's not too bad, like I don't need this part, I can skip over this. I want you, just like you would in a sales call, to actually do a little bit of self-discovery, some self-auditing and reflection. Where can you optimize and improve? Because even a 2% increase on your close rate is going to equate to a lot of fucking money across a full year. And that is the difference between an elite salesperson and someone that's just a run of the mill. All right, so let's actually map this out. Let's say that you get 1K commission per deal, to keep it simple. You're taking 7 calls a day, 5 days a week. And right now, just for maths, you have a 32% closing rate, right? Which should be roughly your bare minimum hygiene standard anyway. Like you probably wouldn't be on my team if you were only hitting this or below. But from that, you would be hitting 11 closed deals per week. Now, if we increase that to 34%, you're then hitting 12 deals per week. That means that you would go from 572K per year to 624K per year. So let me ask you, right? Is it worth buying a $40 Himalayan salt lamp in order to make another 52K per year? If your answer is no, you should probably close the video right now. So let me break this down real quick. We'll start with the camera that I'm using. I will be honest with you right now. My office is really, really nothing special, but it is the perception that the camera and the lighting and just a little bit of intention, you know, strapping some guitars on the wall, nothing crazy, that gives me the perceived expertise. And it is often a talking point when I jump on the call, turn on the camera, immediately natural report, the person's like, whoa, oh man, your camera's crazy, right? It's just a talking point. And then you can have some report that's actually unique and custom, right? Without just being like, hey, where are you based, right? So this is why stuff like this is really important, because it also will just show that you're an authority. Now, the camera that I use is a Sony a6-500. You don't have to use this exact one, but for me, that's a nice middle of the road one. Do some research. I'm sure there's like a a6000, which maybe you can plug in. I just have a cam link which will connect it through, right? So this is literally what I use on sales calls, right? I've got a 30mm Sigma lens on there, but it's the lighting and it's the camera, and this gives a huge amount of perception of expertise. And I want you to understand, you should be always looking at where you can be investing in your life. This is an investment, right? You'd be kind of stupid to think that from buying this, you won't close at least 1 or 2 more deals in that month, which means you get an immediate ROI from that very first month, and then it is just pure profit every single month afterwards. Okay. Now, if you really just, hey, I can't financially swing that right now. I was using a Logitech C920 webcam before. If you have decent lighting combined with it, you will still get a much better picture than you would with like a MacBook fucking webcam. Okay. So take some pride in the camera. In terms of lighting, I have a little lamp next to me, right? I would also recommend a Himalayan salt lamp, which I have right here, which I have bulbs arriving today because my bulb broke. Right, it ran out, whatever. I have a ring light in front of me. Cheap, big ring light from Amazon. Nothing crazy. But again, it's just there. It's good to go. I have a contrasting light in the background. Done. I never have to touch it ever again, okay? So this is the stuff that you need to put attention into. Now, you should not have a bed in the background. Okay, are you a professional? Are you some motherfucker that's jerking off in bed and then going to take a sales call? Okay, it's like you have to show up and have some intention. So if you've got a bed in the backdrop, like you need to do everything you can to rotate your desk, do whatever you can do. You're going to jeopardize the amount of closures you could get by having your bunk bed in the background, right? You need to be an expert. Next up, microphone. Obviously, audio is very, very important as well. I obviously have an SM7B. You can get the Shure MV7, I believe it's called. Or I know a lot of amazing closers that have just the standard wired Apple headphones. The microphone's genuinely very good on it. Now, again, take a little bit of time to play around with the settings, make sure it's kind of pulled up nicely to the mouth and it's not clipping. Just have some pride, but you can just get that, which is super cheap, and you'll honestly be good to go. And then I would be spending a bit more of the additional money on the other stuff that we've already previously mentioned. Now, we're going to go through the pre-call ritual for you to step into the identity of a closer who already made the sale, right? We're coming in locked the fuck in. There's a few different things. Now, the first one, Jordan Belfort talked about this before, right? Basically a smelling stick. which he would use before calls or in-person meetings, whatever he done, right, to shock his nervous system into like total certainty, right? It's like a tool that athletes and fighters will use to just trigger instant alertness and focus and just dialing in. Okay, so I have my one right here in front of me. I pulled like the little label thing off, but you just inhale this into your nostril, right? A couple of seconds per nostril. You're gonna feel that hit immediately, right? Hesitation disappears, you wake up. And the key here is that you're gonna anchor the scent to winning, right? It's like a reminder. Scent is such a powerful sense. This is my closing state, right? And then you jump on the call with absolute certainty and presence, okay? Now, why does this work, right? It's a biochemical pattern break. It's core. It's going to force you just into a different state of like basically dominance, to be honest. On a physiological level, it's going to increase oxygen flow to the brain, which is obviously just going to make you basically sharper, quicker, more present as well, right? The key to having some really good sales calls is being present in the conversation, right? And again, one of the key things here is it's anchoring you to certainty. When you're using it consistently before successful sales calls, your brain's just going to associate that specific scent with confidence, with control, with winning, with fucking slashing deals left, right, and center, okay? It's going to help cut through that mental fog. It's going to eliminate a bit of those pre-call nerves. It's just going to, boom, okay, time to go, right? You're just fully present. You're ready to execute every single time. Now, I don't think it necessarily matters which ones you get. I think they're called like Boom Boom is the ones that I've been buying. And there's, like I said, two ways that you can use it. The first one could just be a straight up like, hey, boom, time to wake up, lock in. The second one is more around grounding it specifically. So this is how I personally done it. When you close a deal, and let's just say it was a good call, it felt super smooth, or maybe you overcame some objections at the end, whatever, you then rip this smelling stick immediately after the close, right? Boom, close done, got the deal, right? Do this like 3, 4, 5 times with different closes that you get, and you're basically grounding to that experience, to that state of mind, right? And like scent is just one of our strongest senses. And to get that point across, like I'm sure every single person watching this has had an experience where a smell has literally brought you back in time. Like you smelt it and just all of these childhood memories came flooding back, right? That shit is really powerful. And you can essentially do that with this stick and then just associate it to closing deals. Next, I want you to create a vision board, right? To go somewhere in life, you actually have to have some tangible things that you are specifically working towards, right? Have this up in front of you at all times, okay? I have one on a whiteboard beside me and I have it as my background desktop, right? Look to this before you take the call. Ground yourself in the importance of the in the now, right? The present moment is the only moment that you can exist. So I always bring some level of awareness to that. And I'm also looking towards things that excite me, that fill me with hope, that I can almost imagine the scenarios happening, right? And just know this is the only moment that matters. Give everything. Because you physically, as much as I would love to, you can't split your body into 2, 4, 5, 6 places, right? So if you're going to be on the call regardless, why not show up as the highest version of yourself that is pushing towards a better life, okay? Your life, everything that you experience in life goes through a lens of perspective. So if you're the kind of person that's just complaining about everything, and I see this all the time when I'll take over a team, there's just these toxic, rooted, poisonous people, right? You're just magnetizing more of that shit directly to you. Oh, the leads are so bad. Oh my God, everyone I talk to right now is so broke. This setter is terrible. I'm the only person that's working hard here. Oh my God, I'm so fucking stressed. This, right? You need to take all of these things and completely flip them. Understand that everything in your world stems from you taking accountability and ownership around it, right? It's always you that has the control. Do not blame others. That is exactly what weak prospects that need saving do. So you have to be the leader. You can't be showing up the same as the prospects, right? Take ownership on how you can improve each of these yourself, or a lot of the time, it's not even an issue in the first place. You're just being a pussy, okay? So what I recommend you just start doing is focusing on the positive things that are all around you, because we have so many of them, right? If you're in sales, you're sat at home making fucking money, okay? Create a note in your phone called like good things are always happening to me. I'll try and see if I can pull mine up, right? Each and every day, add something to it. You're probably not gonna be able to see this, but it's blurry, but that is my list of it, right? Trust me, when you do something like this, every day you're adding to it, it's on your phone, it's easy to get to, your life will improve, which as a byproduct means your calls will improve, which then of course means you're gonna make more money. The next thing, I want you to write the deal before it happens, okay? Because this is gonna totally shift the outcome, right? Your brain is always looking for certainty. It's basically scanning for patterns, and then it's gonna fill in the gaps based on what it expects to happen. So if you step into a call with your doubt, your uncertainty, the fear of rejection, right? Oh my God, I looked at the appointment setting notes and this guy's broke. Your brain is gonna subconsciously adjust your tone, your energy, your language to align with that failure, okay? And the prospect is gonna pick up on it. Even if you don't realize, even if they don't realize it, right? Subconsciously, they're gonna feel it. Whereas if you write the deal, like you pre-write the deal before it happens, you're shifting your entire energy. You're no longer hoping to close. You've already closed in your mind, right? And your actions reflect it. They are going down the pre-written path that we've made for them, right? So on your notes, before you take the call, write out the prospect's name on the left, and on the right-hand side, write out the exact price point of your offer, and underneath that, exactly what you feel the prospect is gonna say, or what you know the prospect will say, right? We are coming into the call with this intention and this energy set. And right at the moment when you drop the price, I've done this for so long and it's just such a game changer, right? You drop the price, just after that, you take a brief glance down at the words that you wrote they will say, take a little breath, you embrace the silence. And then you just have the mentality that if they give you an objection, it's simply just an obstacle or two before this reality that you have crafted comes to fruition. Now, another area of this is actually knowing your numbers, and a sales rep that doesn't know their numbers is basically fucked. So I'm going to give you a tool which will allow you to reverse engineer your commission, right? Which in turn is going to make you more money because you're more aware of how you're showing up. You've got more of a goal, and it's going to create more of a stretch, right? You're going to be pushing your comfortability edge, which is how you grow your income, which is how you elevate your close rate, which is how you become a better human being as well. Next up, get into peak certainty, or do not even fucking bother to take the call, right? Understand that I have lived and breathed sales for such a long period of time, for years, right? You have to commit to this. You have to be committed to mastery and understand what is at cost. If you don't show up powerful, certain, unshakable, you're potentially fucking a prospect over. If you hesitate, they're gonna hesitate. If you play small, they're gonna stay small. If you bring weak energy, they are gonna stay stuck in the same cycle that's kept them playing at 20, 30, 50% of their true potential. And that's why before you even think about jumping on this call, you have to get locked in. You need to shift your state into peak certainty, right? And if you're not there, just don't take the fucking call. Honestly, it would be better for the prospect to reschedule, right? Because if you don't believe in the transformation, then how can they? All right. So we have to break the cycle of inaction. Most of the people that you speak to are stuck in a loop. They have been feeding themselves the same BS excuses. I'm not ready just yet. I need to do more research. I can't afford it. Maybe I'll do it later. You physically have to break that pattern. They are at a crossroads, whether they realize it or not. No matter if they tell you, oh, my life's pretty good, I just think that I'd like a side hustle, whatever it might be, okay? They're either going to continue to go down their current path, which is basically rationalization, one of hesitation, self-doubt, and then ultimately stagnation. They're not growing. Or they are going to make a breakthrough. They're going to make a powerful decision, and they're going to take action towards the transformation that, whether they know it, they desperately need. Their life could be much better than it is right now. Your role is to be the catalyst for change, okay? Most people that you speak to, they've been trapped in indecision for weeks, months, or even years, and I see it all the time. And they've told themselves specific stories to feel good about why they aren't ready, why they can't afford it, why they need to wait. And they are paralyzed by their own patterns. And if you show up with anything less than absolute certainty, you're just reinforcing those patterns. Now, every single time that you actually do bring this level of power to a call, you are not just changing their life, you're leveling up your own identity. Okay, if you think of yourself as like an artist that is sculpting a masterpiece, right, chipping away, every call where you actually show up as a leader, where you push them, you push through resistance, you challenge them, you tell them the necessary truths, you drive certainty and you command action, You're chiseling away at the weak, uncertain version of yourself, okay? And I say this all the time, but it's like how you are outside of sales is how you are inside of sales, okay? The more you do this, the stronger you become, the more unshakable you get, and then you step into the version of you that is dominant, resilient, unstoppable, okay? And it's gonna show up in every area of your life. When you show up strong, the prospect wins, you win, and you both grow in multiple ways, financially, spiritually, emotionally. They get the transformation that they need. You sharpen your skill set. You both make more money. You both elevate. You both step up. And that is literally what this is all about. Sales is such a transformative vehicle, and so many people undervalue the necessity of it, okay? Now, the next thing is actually seeing that there's a human behind the prospect, okay? Forget the prospect label. You are talking to a real human being, someone who's been through life just like you. They've felt the highs, the lows, the heartbreaks, the wins, the losses, all of it. And some people, they're going to show up with an ego. Okay, you have to flip your perspective on this. It's actually a good thing, because what does an ego really represent? It's a shield, it's a defense mechanism, it's a survival tactic, okay? And I always review calls and they've got an ego and the closer shits themselves. The ones who posture the hardest, they're typically the ones who need saving the most, okay? If someone has built up just layers of resistance, it's going to mean that they've probably been burnt before or gone through past experiences that have left them damaged, right? And it means that they've been stuck in cycles they don't know how to break. What that means is that you are the one person in that moment who can actually guide them out of it. It also means you don't have to pussyfoot around the subject, right? They've got an ego. That's how they want to show up. We're going to meet them in the middle. They need a leader in their life to actually step up. So meet them where they are. See their fears, acknowledge their struggles, but do not let them stay there, right? Be the force that actually pulls them forward, all right? We have this duty. The world needs leaders. I want to be clear here. This isn't just a sales call, and this is your mentality you need to have. This is a moment that could change someone's entire trajectory, and as a byproduct, yours as well, right? You either show up with unshakable certainty, or you just shouldn't even take the call. The cost of hesitation is far, far too high, okay? And this is what I'm saying when I go on these little rants and basically say, look, you are so blessed. You're in a position where you can level up as a human being, you can sit at home, you can make money, you can help other people transform and change their lives, and you should be selling on an offer that you feel that in some way, right? Because any good offer has the potential to literally change someone's life. If it's to make more money, if it's to improve their business, which in turn makes more money, whether it's dating help, like whatever it might be, it will literally have such a profound impact on an individual if they commit to it. And that's the realization you should have. You are the prize, not them. Okay, we come in, we're empowering, we have this, we're not putting the prospect on a pedestal. We know that we're the prize, and we are just there to guide them if they want to actually change their lives. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to be fucking tough on them if needed, just like you would with a friend, right? If you were speaking to a friend, you would be willing to say to the friend, hey, I love you. You would also be willing to say to the friend, hey, you are being an idiot right now. And you should treat prospects exactly the same. Maybe don't call them an idiot, but the tough love, if it's needed, is one of the most powerful things that you should be willing to do for a prospect, because you know the impact that it could have further down the road. I'm not on a sales call to be liked there and then. I'm on a sales call to facilitate transformation.